Austin Country Club, if you know, you know. It's where prestige meets privacy. It's tucked away right on the Colorado River underneath the Pennybacker Bridge. It's where the pros come to play. It's where power deals are made on the golf course, and real estate is just a bit secret. You know, but it's more than a golf course. It's tradition, power, and history of Austin golf. And we're gonna go through it all today. I'm gonna show you around the course, the amenities, the types of homes you can buy, what to expect, nearby hotspots, and the schools. And if you stick around to the end, I'm gonna show you an off-market property that you will not find on Zillow. Hey, I'm Nicole Cooper, and I've been helping people buy and sell homes in Austin, Texas for more than a decade. And I also play golf for the University of Texas, so when someone says they want to live in a golf community, I know how to get them on the fairway. So let's get started on this luxury community of Austin Country Club. So first things first, where is the location of the Austin Country Club? It is right here in the kind of the northwest center of town, right by the Colorado River here and Highway 360. So it's just about 9 miles from the center of town, and that is all the way to downtown. The drive-in here on this road right here, Westlake Drive, super pretty drive, pretty windy though. If you want to take the major roads, you can go over here to 360 and through Westlake proper all the way into downtown. Now, one thing to note about the Austin Country Club area and most of the neighborhoods that make up the Austin Country Club area, they all flow into the Eanes ISD. So this little pocket right here is where the golf course is, and this purple line that goes around here is the Eanes ISD. So everything in Westlake and Rollingwood, as well as up here in Davenport Ranch, which is Austin Country Club, and then a bit towards the west out here towards Austin Lake Hills, flows into the Eanes ISD. And if we look more specifically, here we are with our terrain map. This is the Bridgepoint Elementary School. It's just right across the highway from the actual country club. So it's a pretty quick commute right across the street there. The middle school and high school are right over here together. Hill Country Middle School and the Westlake High School are just almost the same drop off. Here is the front of the middle school and then the Westlake High School. And here's the big front of Westlake High School with the big parking lot out front. There's the entrance to their stadium. They have a majorly good football team every year. And then just to show you how they rank, the whole ISD gets an A. The ISD, the whole independent school district, only has 7,720 students. They get 94 out of 100. Here's their diversity graph here, and about 13 students per teacher. So in Austin, people will pay a huge premium to be inside the Eanes ISD boundaries so that their children can feed into that superior school. Okay, now we are going to dive into Austin Country Club itself. And I'm going to give you the zoom in effect here and switch over to the satellite view so you can see how the golf course is laid out. So you're going to have 9 holes that are going to be over here lakefront or lake view. They're not all lakefront. And then you're going to have 9 holes that are back here more in the canyons and the ravine side where you don't see the lake at all. So I would tell you which 9 is 9, but if you watch the Dell Tournament match play on TV, they reversed the 9s that are currently when they play them normally. So it doesn't really matter if you know hole 1 or 10 as the par 4 that doglegs to the left or the par 4 that's straight up the hill. Just know that half the holes are down near the water and half the holes are more up in the ravine and hill countryside area. And as we zoom in here onto some photos, this you can see, this is that iconic Pennybacker Bridge that overlooks the whole Austin Country Club. You can see this cliff back here behind it. There's a lot of office buildings and things, but you can also hike up there and take some really pretty pictures back overlooking the water and the lake. These pictures all here were taken during the Dell Tournament, as you can see all the signage from that. And here's one of the VIP tents behind the par 4. This is a par 4 that some of the longer players could drive the green, and if you weren't hitting it great that day, you'd hit it out here and lay up. And here's one more view of the course during the tournament. As far as the club goes right now, these brown rooftops here, that's where the main club is, the pro shop, dining, locker rooms, and all that stuff. We have the tennis courts and racquetball, pickleball courts right next door. We have the a swimming pool here. And then if you look down here, this is just a parking lot. So what's being discussed right now is that they may move the pro shop and club and dining facilities down to this parking lot area so you could take advantage of that beautiful water view. It's very strange that they chose to build the club where you can't see the water. And the club is gorgeous, don't get me wrong, very elegant and prestigious inside, but you don't have that water view. So it's being voted on now. It may have already been voted on. I know it's been in discussion for months and months, but it will be a large assessment to the members that are there if they do decide to build a new clubhouse over where that current parking lot is. I think it would be a wonderful addition, but it's not my money that's going to be paying for it. So some of the members are for it and some are not so keen on it. As we dial in here, this is the driving range here, right by hole 10. They've got a really nice teaching facility here, and the driving range is, it's impeccable. It has all the little short greens so you can get out there and get your yardages dialed in while you're getting ready. And then these practice greens back here, you've got one chipping green and one putting green. So if you want to work on your game, there's plenty of opportunity to do it. So this course is a Pete Dye design, and he is known for a lot of undulation in the fairways and the greens. Every single time I have ever played this golf course, it has been in impeccable condition. The grass is always perfectly green. The greens are always super fast, super slippery, and the grain is super strong. And what do I mean by that? So for example, a lot of greens, they come back up the hill and you hit it to the green, so the grass grows down the hill. That's the grain of the grass. And when you're chipping up that hill, like, your club will get stuck in that grass. So you really have to be excellent at knowing how that works out there so you don't love it. But anyway, back to Pete Dye. He has some beautiful carries over ravines. He's known for a few dog legs and things like that. But one of the things that is kind of tough about his design is you could be right in the middle of the fairway and your ball could be above your feet or below your feet, or maybe you have an uphill lie or a downhill lie going into the green. So keep that in mind as you're playing that course, and know that just because you hit it down the middle of the fairway does not mean you're going to have an easy stance. I've already mentioned that the course was home to the Dell Match Play Tournament, and then the membership is around 450 members at any given time. Now the membership, we might as well go into this while we're talking about it. It's tough. It's very, very exclusive. The waiting list is a mile long, and you have to have a lot of recommendations to be able to even be considered. So, the initiation fee is somewhere around $100,000. It's still mysterious because they don't post it anywhere, and it depends kind of what level you're trying to get in as to how much it costs. But the trick is you have to have letters of recommendation from current members, and then their board will vote on who gets to be a member next. It's not a chronological order like you just wait in line. You get in line, you submit all your letters, and then you wait and see if they like you or not. Some people, it takes a long, long time to get in. Others get in rather quickly. So if you need some of those letters of recommendation, let me know in the comments and I'll try to hook you up with my friends. Austin Country Club is the home to Harvey Pinnock. And if you don't know who Harvey Pinnock is, he is one of the most famous golf instructors that has ever lived. He was Tom Kite's and Ben Cridshaw's instructor, just to name two Austin icons, but there have been many, many more that he instructed, and I was lucky enough as a kid to get to take lessons from him, and what a special human being he was. He could make you feel confident and good about yourself and your game more than anyone I've ever met in my life. He was a true gem at Austin Country Club. In addition to Harvey Pinnock's legend, Austin Country Club has been around since 1899. Now, not always in this location here. In fact, it moved here in 1984, but it is the oldest running club in Austin from 1899 to today, and that is why the waiting list is so long to get in. There's so much prestige, so hard to get a tee time if you're not a member. I mean, you can't. So everybody's wanting to get into this club to just play it and have that experience and kind of walk the same turf as all the legends have. And I think out of the last 10 times I've been out there, 9 times Tom Kite has been there either on the driving range or teeing off. He's almost always there, and he definitely always has a smile on his face. and a friendly hello. And this is one of the statues that remains out there today. This is from behind. This is Tom Kite, and that's Harvey Pinnock. And that's an example of him giving a lesson that will be forever memorialized at the club. This is a beautiful angle from the hillside across from the Pennybacker Bridge, overlooking the golf course to the downtown city center. This is hole number 2 or number 11, depending on if you watched it on TV or if you've played it in person. A short par 3, but it will get up there and grab your golf balls and put them in the water if you're not careful. And here's the history portion that I was telling you about, founded in 1899 by Lewis Hancock. 1902 was the first clubhouse. 1908, the next clubhouse was built. 1910 went to the original Hancock location, and you can come on their local website and look at all of these dates if you'd like to. And here it is, 1984, where it moved to its current location. 2016 was the Dell Match Play golf tournament, and it was there until just a couple of years ago. As for the amenities, I've already shown you from the air where you have the swimming pool and the tennis courts and the locker rooms and things like that. They also have a few different styles of dining. They have a huge outdoor pavilion where everyone goes for happy hour and goes to tally the scores after they're around. It's really nice, overlooking the 10 tee box and the practice area, so it's a really good location right there. You have the Harvey Pinnock room, only men can go in, and then you have your private dining rooms that are just like the ultimate in elegance and luxury. So you have all different types of eating, dining, and the pro shop there all in one spot. So no matter what kind of mood you're in, they'll have something available for you that day. Now, as for real estate, if you look in the map here, a lot of these little communities make up the Austin Country Club real estate pocket. We have Tierra Madrones. It's mainly Davenport Ranch, but the thing is it's not in one big gated communities like you'll have many of these luxury communities or luxury golf courses inside. Now, the pro shop and the golf course itself is inside the gated portion, but there aren't many homes in the gated area. So all these homes leading up to the golf course here and that are on the golf course are not gated. Now, if you come across Westlake Drive, there are gated sections over here. So it just kind of is hit or miss whether you're in a gated community in these individual little places. Once you get inside the gate up here at the Austin Country Club, there are some condo style villas down here on the water, and those are inside the gate, but they're not on the golf course. So there aren't a lot of homes on the golf course at Austin Country Club. So when one comes up available, it usually demands a premium because there's so few and far between. And generally speaking, since Austin Country Club has been here longer, since the 80s, you're going to find older homes on the golf course and all throughout this part of town. You will have some new builds because there will be some teardowns and some new built back, or as development has gotten better, that you'll see some built up on the sides of the cliffs and sides of the hills, and that's where you're going to get some new construction. But before we move on, I want to show you some actual examples of the houses. So this one is on the way into the club, not in a gated area, just under $4 million at $3,745,000. It's 4,704 square feet, about a third of an acre. Now, this one was built in 1999. It does have a beautiful swimming pool out back, but this is typical construction you're going to see in the area. You're going to see just regular limestone or brick. I'll show you another example in a minute of what to expect, but this is just Austin Country Club. It's a little bit more traditional style, and that's just because the age of the homes are older. And by older, I mean older than the newer clubs. So think, for example, Barton Creek Canyons. Those have still some new construction homes over there, but not Barton Creek Foothills. So each course, depending on when it was developed, is going to have that age of home there. And so this is the view of the kitchen and living to give you an idea of a little bit of what to expect if it hasn't been currently remodeled. This is Longchamp Drive. This is another one this is the road that leads into the club. 4,200,000, just under 5,000 square feet there. And this one was built in 1984. So close to when the club came over and actually opened. And there you're going to find these large, expansive homes with, like I said, brick or rock on the front, on the facade. And then this one has been updated a little bit more so than the last one to be on the modern trend of those white and kind of marble looking countertops. But neither one of these homes is on the golf course. If it were, we could probably add a lot more to the price tag if it actually had a golf course view. And lastly, I want to show you another example, and I'm going to bring up back the map here to show you what's happening. So those homes were right here on the entry portion of Austin Country Club. Now, if you want to get something for a little bit better value, what some people do is hop over to this north side of the river, and you can still have a view back towards the golf course and that beautiful bridge. And that is what this home is an example of. This one here, it's a little bit smaller too, just under 3,000 square feet, but it's $1,389,000, built in 1991. Now, while this one hasn't been updated, look at the views that you get. You see here the Pennybacker Bridge, and just down to the left there, that's the golf course. They did have to go 3 stories high to be able to see it, but that's what happens on the other side of the water. You get a lot more for your money. And let me show you one other reason why, and that's this map right here. Remember when I showed you that Eanes ISD cutoff before? Eanes ISD stops at the river. So once you jump over to the other side of the water, you're in a different school district, and that affects the property values. People pay more to be in the Eanes ISD. If you're on the other side, you're going to be going into McCallum High School. But if you don't have kids in school, that could be a really easy place to get some more house for your money if you go to the north side of the river, because to get to the golf course, you just hop back over 360 and jump over the bridge, and you're right there back at the club. So overall, around Austin Country Club, you're going to have older homes that have been either updated or not, so that's going to make their value either go higher or lower. And if they do have a view of the lake or of the golf course, then the prices are going to go up substantially. You're not going to find much under $2 million anywhere around, and the more on trend and modern it is, and the closer to the golf course, the higher those millions go. And don't forget, if you stick around to the end, I'm going to show you one that's just over here to the west of the club, and these have sometimes a little bit newer homes over here, but it's also on the lake. So you can see what being that close to town and on the water and how much that price tag is. So stick around to the end. All right, now we're going to talk about how to get your groceries, where to eat, and things like that. So you are a little bit out of town, but there are plenty of things nearby. Before we dial into restaurants, I just want to show you, here is Austin Country Club, and right up here is the Domain and Arboretum. So you're going to have plenty of shopping, restaurants, cinemas, of things like that nearby onto the north side. Then if you go to the south, down here over in Bee Cave, you're going to have similar shopping, restaurants, grocery over here. So you're kind of right in between whichever direction you want to go for grocery shopping. If you need more clothes and mall and things, you're going to be closer to the Arboretum and Domain. But then down here on the south side as well, we have Barton Creek Mall. So you're not too far from anything. And by too far, I mean like 15 minutes away. So as far as kind of where you would go if you were living right near the country club, there are quite a few restaurants right here in this little shopping center. So I'm just going to point out too, we have Jade Restaurant, which is great Asian food, and Maudie's Milagro, which has some of the best Mexican food around. It's outdoor seating, you have a really pretty view at night, and of course, great margaritas and the chips and salsa. So you don't have to go very far to get good food. Then if we hop right over the main road here, we go over to Jack Allen's, and they have some really good, I'm going to call this like Southern cooking. You can get a chicken fried steak. You can get fish tacos too, but here's that chicken fried steak I was talking about. Doesn't that look scrumptious? Not low calorie, but good food. Jack Allen's also has an amazing brunch. It's a buffet style brunch where just pretend to be in a food coma after if you do go and enjoy that brunch. Here's another make you hungry picture, and then of course some great dessert. So that's at Jack Allen's. Anyway, this might be considered out of town for some. It's not really a walkable neighborhood per se, but you have plenty of restaurants, dining options, and groceries nearby that you will feel just right at home. So now I'm going to break it down in the pros and cons, the best and worst parts about living in Austin Country Club. The first pro is its legendary golf status. It's unmatched. The second pro is it's some of the best, most prestigious addresses in all of Austin. The third pro is there's waterfront access and stunning views all across the board. Fourth, it's an Eanes ISD, which is considered one of the top independent school districts in the entire state, not just Austin. And lastly, it's the resale value. There's so few homes that ever hit the market that supply and demand, or lack of supply, I should say, helps protect your value way into the future. Now, what's not so hot about living there? Well, first of all, membership is tough. It's almost impossible to get in. And homes rarely hit the MLS. They rarely hit the market that are on the golf course or have those water views. So when they do, prices are super high. And if you're looking for fun, funky, quirky Austin, this isn't your one. You need to head more towards SoCo. So that could be a good thing or a bad thing depending on what you're looking for. If you're looking for traditional prestige, this is your one. So now let's go take a look at that off-market property I promised you. So here is our off-market property I promised you. It looks a bit like a castle, doesn't it? But you can see the water in the back. It's a beautiful sunset photo here. It's listed with Compass, with Wade Giles, and it's listed at $11,700,000. It's just under 10,000 square feet at 9,995 and just over an acre at 1.15 acres. Built in 1998, and here is what it looks like in the daytime. It does have a gorgeous pool out back, and then here's that water view. You're tucked up on top of the hill with the gorgeous lake in the background. Of course, it has some designer styles in there, but here's the kitchen. Even though it was 1998, they have upgraded it and updated it over time, so it's on current trend for today. Beautiful archways throughout, lots of woodwork, molding, attention to detail, craftsmanship. Look at the view out that window towards the back there. Primary bath here again has that castle-like feel. And here is the primary bedroom's view. Look at the lake in the background. End on this shot here for our off-market listing. If you're looking for one of these, you're not going to find them on Zillow or Redfin, but they are for sale. So just let me know in the comments and I'll get you in. So that's a wrap. If you're looking for prestige, power, privacy, Austin Country Club could be the right fit for you. There are some gated neighborhoods nearby. The club is gated, but most importantly, that whole area of town is just known for its luxury presence. And if this is something that's important to you and you want to see these houses in person, all you have to do is call, text, email, set up a Zoom call, because we're always here to help you find the perfect home that matches your lifestyle. So until I see you again, be kind to yourself and others, and I look forward to seeing you on the course.